Hello and welcome to this video. We are on GT7 and it's on the PS5 and I'm using the PSVR2. I've read online that some people have been having issues with getting the right perspective in the car. I found a little fix during GT Sports VR mode that sort of aligned everything up to my physical steering wheel in the room. I'm using one of them. So what's the problem? Well, the default steering wheel and camera the game has given me is way too close to my head. I feel like I'm too big for the car. If I could put my hand on the gear lever here, putting it down in the same sort of position as the character arm, I'd be about half a foot in front of it, and that just ruins the feeling of immersion you'd get in the game. So there is a quick way. As I said, I found this in GT Sport. It's probably a common thing, but a lot of people, I imagine, don't know about it. And that's to reset the camera, but it's how you reset the camera. For those of you who don't know how to reset the camera, if you hold the options button, it will reset the camera for you. I believe that's common across everything on the PS5, especially using the VR. So what I found for my personal settings is if I look directly down into the seat area, into the groin area where the belt buckle is, and then I hold reset. Now you may notice that the body has shifted somewhat. If I put my hand now on the steering wheel in relation to where the in-game character model is, it feels right. Same with the gear lever. If I put that down, it feels right. It's as if my hand's going to go there. I'm 6'2", so I don't know how tall I'd be in this car in reality, but you can scooch down if you want. I'm happy where I am. The only thing I'm finding is that the shoulders, if I reset it at this point, are too far forward. They're not actually matching my shoulders. To fix that, if you once again look down, but this time not so far, so I'm going to look towards the bottom of the steering wheel, and I'm going to reset. There we go. For me, that's almost perfectly matched to my body. Everything feels right. The steering wheel I have is a little smaller than the one in game, but hand position wise, body position wise, it really feels accurate. So that will help you get a proper perspective on the cockpit view, essentially where you're sitting in the car. It just feels right, you know. I can look around. Everything feels like it's aligned to my body. Maybe the shoulders are a little too far forward, but it's nothing major. So using this, it works really well to set up a good position for you in the car, because I've heard a lot of people saying they feel like giants or feel like young children driving the cars. However, there are some issues with this. One of the issues is, let's say you've done some laps and you want to retry or start again. If I click retry now, you'll notice, maybe not as much as I do because I'm in VR, but the steering wheel and the camera has reset again. So it's throwing it back to that original default position. So for me, I look right down again, hold the options button, that resets once, look at the bottom of the steering wheel, resets again, and that is absolutely spot on. It's probably a little better than my original one. So that's one problem. I have found a way of fixing this, but it's not as accurate as stopping and, you know, resetting manually and taking your time to reset. But it helps if you're doing online races or racing the AI. So you're in a menu and you go into the race. Obviously it's going to reset from here. So if we go back to the main menu, or the race menu, and next, skip the replay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down to where the seat position is when I held the reset button. I'll get myself comfortable looking right down, and I'm going to press start. We'll start the race. And that has more or less lined me up perfectly. It's still out though. It's not, you know, it's not that point where I fine tune it myself. So if I look at the steering wheel again, it shifts me back into the correct position. But what that will mean is, let's say you're doing sports mode and you are jumping into a race, you will have to look down before the actual cockpit view activates. I find it's before the 3, 2, 1 countdown on a rolling start, you've got to be looking down. Otherwise, it's going to give you this default camera. It's a slight annoyance, but you know, it's the things you have to work with. I am hoping that it will get patched in and fixed. So that's it for jumping into races, setting up your camera. There is one other thing I'd like to talk about. What I'm going to do is, this is going to be an extreme example. I'm going to look directly to my left, and I'm going to exit the game whilst looking to the left. Now what will happen is the 2D screen, or the floating virtual screen, is in the position of me looking directly left. Like I said, this is going to be an extreme example. The way the PS5 records this, you will just see the screen as is. I'm now going to look straight. What it's telling me now is press and hold the options button to reset the screen position. Fine, most of the time you do that. However, I'm looking back at the virtual screen, which is the screen you're looking at now. If I press start whilst looking at the screen, now I'm still looking left in the position that I exited the game earlier. And yeah, this is going to be an extreme example. Stick the handbrake on. Now if I look straight at my steering wheel, you see it's way off. I mean, you get a nice view of the car, but it's way off. So what I recommend is, if you are going into races and you are looking around, try and look forward or look straight down as you enter those menus. Otherwise, it is going to throw the balance of the screen off slightly. So I'm going to reset everything. Look at the steering wheel. It matches up to my body pretty perfectly. So yeah, those are the three basic components of this video. So it's looking down, resetting the camera. When you exit a race or retry a race and go back into the race, you will have to look down or find the point that you know sort of matches up to your body. And when you leave a race or finish a race, try and keep your focus forward so that the virtual screen is lined up to where your wheel was previously. So it's just like looking ahead, and it should, as this will do now, pop up right in front of me. So yeah, that's the video. Hopefully it helps you find the right perspective on GT7 using the PSVR2. Yeah, hopefully it helps, and maybe see you on the racetrack one day. Thank you.